In this video, we're going to look at a slightly more challenging system of equations to solve. So if we notice here, I have coefficients in both front of the x and the y on both of them. So it's going to be a little tricky for me to solve for y. If I want to put this in my calculator, I have two equations in which I have to solve for y. So that makes it a little bit more work, doable. But let's talk about elimination. For this one, elimination would probably be the easiest way to go. And the reason I say that is because if I think about it, I could either eliminate my x's or I can eliminate my y's. So what's a common factor between 3 and 2? Excuse me, common multiple would be 6, right? Here a common multiple would be 12. Well, I'd rather keep my numbers small, so I'm going to eliminate my x. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if I have 3x plus 4y equals 10, and I multiply this whole thing by 2, that would give me 6x in the beginning. If I take 2x plus 3y equals 7, and I multiply that by -3, that would give me -6x. So my x's, when I add them, would be 0. So let's go ahead and distribute those values. So I'm going to do the top one. I guess I'll do it in orange. So 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times 4y is 8y, and 2 times 10 is 20. So I just doubled everything in my top equation. Now I'm going to triple everything in my bottom equation, but make it negative. So -3 times 2x is -6x. -3 times 3y gives me -9y. And -3 times 7 gives me -21. Because I'm doing it by elimination, that means I'm going to add these up. My first term by design became 0. So now I have 8y minus 9y, which gives me -y. And then I have 20 minus 21, which gives me -1. So if I multiply both sides by -1, or if I divide both sides by -1, I get y is equal to 1. So I have to remember, though, that I have an x and a y variable, so I also have to solve for my x. So now I'm going to decide which one of these do I want to stick the 1 into. It doesn't really matter. We'll just do the bottom one because it's right there. So I have 2x plus 3 times 1 equals 7. And again, why did I pick 1? Because when I solved for y, I ended up getting y equals 1. And so that's where I substituted it into. So that gives me 2x plus 3 equals 7. I subtract 3 from both sides. I get 2x equals 4. Divide both sides by 2, and that gives me x is equal to 2. So that means I have my x value and my y value, so my solution is 2, 1. So that's my answer.